We
On the
are.
phone and all that. All right, cool. All right, so what's going on, family? This time for No Picks Podcast.
What up, family? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
Hey guys, it's Angie again.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
All right, so today we wanted to do like an impromptu live. For anybody watching, basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play a couple clips, and we're gonna break this down into segments. We're gonna get some opinions, and we're gonna make some magic happen. So
Sounds good, and welcome back, ladies. Always good to have y'all on.
Thank you.
Starting to feel like home a little bit.
Y'all family. Y'all part of the family, man.
All right. So I wanted to play this first clip. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Is horrible sex a reason to leave a good man or woman? I'm not leaving a good man over bad sex. Absolutely not. If everything else is intact, I like his mama.
Yeah.
He got good credit.
Yeah.
He ain't got no kids. What? You think I'm never coming up off that? We will work on the other part. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of tools.
What if it can never get better? What if he can never just get
Baby, it can get better. As long as one of us know what we're doing, it can get better. Okay. Wow. And as long as Amazon go drop off that rose, we gonna work it out. I'm not leaving no good man over this. This is childish.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Just be real.
There you
Now,
go. Don't leave no good. Huh?
Is horrible sex a reason to leave a good woman?
Right.
Is horrible sex a reason to
He said, huh?
She good though. She cook, clean, take care of everything. I mean, perfect, fine, all that. But the sex is trash.
Be honest.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm up out of there, man. I got to go. I got to go, man. No, it happened to me one time in my life. Once. And I was like, I just kept like, yo, like this is cool. Like everything is cool. This is cool. And it was just like, it had got, and the worst part about it is she like would want to have it. And then just, we would like, I'd be in the middle of like, this is weird and not vibey. And it was just like, when you go, because you go out with your lady, you hang out, or you hanging out with your lady, and she say something nasty to you, and you like, ooh. And then you get ready, you excited. You want it to be, you want it to be great. Yeah. Now I have stayed with women that we've had okay sex, but bad sex is nah.
I think it weighs more on men than it does on women, because we really think that's how you connect with us a lot of times. And a lot of times if it's bad for men, it's because we don't have chemistry and the connection. So if we're lacking in the sexual department, then we're probably lacking in other departments as well. Like it's other things that get on my nerves about you too. You know what I'm saying? Because it is, sometimes you can have a good woman, but it's just like it's whack. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I also think you guys have a little bit more of a comfort level where you feel safe leaving a good woman. They got everything in play, because you'll find another one. Women, it's a little harder for us to find a good man with everything lined up, and we can just be honest about that.
Damn, you might have a
so
point,
y'all
though.
like, yeah, I'll leave it because you got another one.
Yeah.
Listen, we in a room right now.
Because you know, because you've been there. Because you done had.
This is a y'all unicorns. Stop doing that, man.
I'm being honest.
You can't leave. Okay. Like a smart man knows, you leave a good woman, a woman that you got connection with. You know, if you've been dating, you know that you're not going to just walk out on the street and find another good woman. It's just not going to happen. The thing of it is, like I said, so I've stayed, and I'm sure Zach or anybody else, you probably stayed with,
right, because Zach know the truth.
You would stay with a woman that you've had okay sex with. Okay, where it's cool. It might not be mind blowing, but it's cool.
Do you know
cool.
how many?
But
I hear you.
Bad sex is like this sex that I.
But if you know what you doing, coach your partner.
I did. I tried. It was just.
It's not the.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. All right, so
that was a lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot, and it was like 2 more minutes of it, and I'm like, I think we got the gist of it. All right, so let's go. Let's go with Angie first. Angie, what's your thoughts? Do you leave a good man who checks all those criteria that you want in a man if he has bad sex?
No, I'm leaning towards what the girl said. Like, we could definitely work on that. I mean, it is unfortunate,
right?
But it's something that, I mean, I would rather fix your sex than your credit.
Oh, that's
Right.
that's a bar.
True, yeah.
That's a
Right.
bar.
But what if the guy just doesn't have like, so say the guy's awesome and he got three strong inches on him, like like what can be done?
All
Like,
right,
you know
now
what I mean? Like,
now
how do
bad
you
sex
fix
and
that?
3
You taking
inches
it to an
is two different
extreme,
things.
man.
Is that
Yeah.
First of all,
Why you gotta have a micro? Why you go straight
that's
to
not micro. That's I feel the average
like
nigga got like a
pinky,
4 or
It's
5 inch
given
joint.
inverted
So
at that point.
inverted.
Damn.
You got like a negative penis. Like,
He's like, what? 3 inches is not even no. But
All
no,
right.
I tend to agree with her on that aspect of it.
Got you. What about you, Chelsea?
I agree.
You agree with that? All right. Well, nice, short, and
Because, like
sweet.
she said, it's harder to find a good guy than it probably is to find a good woman.
Okay. I mean,
'Cause I
that's
just
probably,
yeah. And for men, I mean, I'll let y'all answer, but I even have an opinion on the guys. Like, but
right.
let y'all answer
Oh, well,
first.
let's
Go
see. I
ahead.
want to hear that. But Joe, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, like for like, I mean, how am I answering it? Like, would I leave a woman if it was trash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you
Okay,
leaving a
okay,
woman if
'cause
she got everything else you like, but
No, I'm
sexually
not
she
leaving.
trash? Now, I'm not saying just regular sex. In our case, right? The head trash too. Right? Like it's all trash.
Fuck. I mean,
The hand, Joe, wait. I'm gonna take it a step further. The hand jobs are trash. Like she just mashing it. She mashing it. She just hurting it. Right? Like
I
it's
mean,
like
so I'm trying to give a short my initial. Or I'm gonna give my initial opinion, right? Because there's a lot to unpack. My short answer would be no, because if she's genuine, if in my eyes she's a good woman, right? Because that's subjective. But like
right.
if she's a good woman, I know that that's people in general. This goes for women towards men too. A good partner is really hard to find in today's dating scene with how we move now. Let's just speak for like Western society or America. So my short answer would be no, because if she cooks, which I love, you get to my stomach, you get to my heart. If she cooks and she's nurturing and she's, feminine and a great mom, like there's no way I can give that up. And as long as one person knows what they're doing, like Angie said, or did Angie say that, or the chick in the video?
The chick in the video said it, but
Oh, my bad. I don't want to put words in your mouth. All right, that's my short answer. My short answer is no, right? And then we can unpack that. But what would you do?
you're only
Um,
saying that. Go ahead.
Short answer is I wouldn't leave her, no, because I see value in a good woman. However,
Yep, here it comes. Here it comes.
Here it goes.
You
Here
ready,
it
Ange?
goes. I'd have
There
a
will
harem
be-
of women.
there might be a harem like you just don't know about. Like it's like, but although listen, I wouldn't take a woman serious to that level. Like we would never get there if the sex wasn't very, very satisfying for me. So we would never even get to the point where I gotta choose, because I feel like at that point it's like ripping your arm off. Like what do you choose? Like ripping your left arm or your right arm off, right? Like she's a good woman, which is rare. I agree. No. I disagree with the chick. It's not harder. Well, maybe listen. I can't speak for her, but I don't think it's hard. I think it's equally hard to find a good man and a good woman. I don't know. Like it's yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I think disqualify women from being good, and I don't think that doesn't disqualify them from consideration. How I look at it, because it's just how you are will determine how I move with you, right? So if I'm more aggressive and more like an asshole or whatever, then that means I needed to do that in order to whatever. But if I'm more nice and pleasant and whatever, that means I'm comfortable doing that because of how you are. So I'll just listen. I feel like I'm like the embodiment of Darwin. Like I'll just adapt. Like I'll figure this shit out, right? Like I got no issue like just being who I need to be to fit to suit certain situations.
Wow.
But yeah, so I've been with
That's
aggressive
dangerous.
women, and I've been with very pleasant women, but it's like I act differently with both of them. Like with the aggressive woman, I'm more aggressive, and I'm like, all right, what's up? But the sex, you can't really replace that shit. Like I don't like jerk. Like there's not enough Pornhub in the world to make me to make me complacent with bad sex. I'm sorry. Like it's not enough.
Okay, so
I hear y'all. My theory on men, though, is that most men are going to say what Joe says because they're going to cheat anyway. A lot of times, if they can. Not you, Joe. I love
Yes,
you, Joe.
yes. I
Damn.
would
But the
agree.
man with your answer is
Yes.
going to cheat anyway. So he's going to enjoy the luxuries of all
Right.
of those great qualities.
Right.
He's going to say, sure, I'm going to stick it out because
Right.
a woman with those other qualities are good to find.
Right.
But he's going to cheat anyway because if he can, he will.
Yeah.
And a man that has a woman with all those other qualities is probably a man who can and will. So,
Right.
of course, he's going to keep her, but he's definitely cheating.
That's hard. Ty brought up a good point, which is like how do you get to that point where like you're dating someone, or even if you're courting, but you don't realize earlier on that there's just no connection. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how do you let it get that far that you're like finally cohabitating with this person, like y'all done procreated or done jumped the broom, and you realize it's been trashed this whole time? Like, I just don't understand how you would let it get that far. You know what I'm saying? That's why in my mind,
Or
I'm
maybe
like,
it turned into trash. Maybe it was good, and then after having a baby, it like did something different. You know what I mean? Like
Does
it
that
could be
happen?
something like that.
I've never experienced that.
I've
a
heard
genuine
it.
question. Like, is that like is that legit? Like, because I'm like,
That's the thing. Like I know women who've had children, and after they had children, like lose their sex drive. It may not be trash because I mean it's the same vagina, but
still could do it,
it's not the same razzle dazzle because she just doesn't feel the same way she did.
Okay.
But Joe,
okay,
tell me if you agree though. Like I feel like dudes don't require that much when it comes to sex. Like I feel like for the most part, vagina is kind of is what it is. Like
box
they're all
box.
kind of standard.
Yeah,
like they're
box
all
is
kind of
box.
standard. Like
box is box. You know, what
box
I mean?
is box, right?
It's you know. So I agree that men are a little more simpler. Because like I said, we're gonna get ours regardless, right? Even if it's bad, we're gonna get
ours regardless.
Even if it's bad, we're gonna get off. We might think about something else or be somewhere else, but we're gonna get off regardless, right? But for women, it takes a little bit more like of the mental and the emotional connection. I'm assuming. I don't want to speak for women, right? If I'm wrong, please let me know.
No, I would agree.
But I feel like for men, it's much easier. So we're gonna get off regardless. But the thing is, I won't be coming back to that. However, if it's my partner, that's why I have to ask, like, at what point did I just not, was I blindsided? You know what I mean? Did you like, I would have to be completely blindsided to reach a point where I'm in a serious relationship with someone and there's no chemistry. Because for me, like without any chemistry, I'm like, it can't progress that far. Because if I'm thinking long term, I'm like, do I want to stay in a situation long term and then with hoping it gets better, but knowing that if it doesn't, it could leave, you know, it could, I don't know, like that's where you, it's just an environment that's conducive to infidelity or resentment or frustration, like all that anger. So I'd have to think about that. Like, why would you let it get that far?
Realistically, it never will. Because, like, listen, I can speak for myself. Like, it's like if, like, when I like say in college, I remember talking to women in college, and they'd be like, "I don't give head," and I'd be like, "What the?" I'd be like, "Oh, we done." Like, I'd be like, "We finished. We done."
Really
like,
they still make you,
right? I'd be like, "Oh, after she said this in the actual sentence, or whether it's text or in person." In my head, I'm like, "You're like, this is done." Like, I'm like,
that's a preference thing.
After this conversation, you and I would probably never talk again. Like in my head, I'm like, "This is it."
That's a preference thing, bro. That's definitely there are some women who don't enjoy having that done to them, and there are some women who are like, "Oh no, that has to come standard. Like that's mandatory. Like I need that." See what I'm saying? So like, it really depends on the person. But like, if that's a requirement for you, I feel like that's an expectation that needs to be set up front. Right. Or at least expressed up front. And then if she ain't with it, then you can just move on. You know what I mean? I feel like some things can be resolved through communication, but like when you don't communicate and then you get serious with that person and you overlook certain things, thinking like, maybe it'll change. Like I feel like sometimes people don't see the flags or see the lack of chemistry.
Oh, they see them, Joe. They just fold them up and make a little origami out of them,
so
and then keep on moving. And they see the red flag.
But I do think it's silly to throw away a good individual because of that. Because I feel like you can coach, like Shorty said, we can order the rolls, we can incorporate some toys. Like I'm not one of them dudes that's too insecure to toss toys in the bedroom. I like
that's what I was about to say.
I think they enhance the situation. I think you know what I mean. Like, but like there's ways
because if you got 3 inches and I'm like, "Oh, babe, I want this toy," and I come in with this big 9-inch toy, it's like,
don't do that to that man.
That's what
Please, don't. At that point, you might as well put a strap on and peg him. Like, I'll just give it to him because don't do that to that. But I'm saying, like, if you need it more than that, though, realistically, I feel like part of chemistry is also like just anatomy. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be compatible on that level too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to say, like, if you know 3 inches ain't gonna hit it for you, why move forward? You know what I mean? You might lay him off nicely and be like, hey, you were great, but like, maybe we should just be friends. And then at that point,
because a level of not backing off at that point is now you're stepping into the using territory.
Right.
Now you're taking advantage.
Yeah.
I just think it's silly for modern day, like, and it happens more often than we think, right? Like that women or men toss away good partners for something that can be worked through with communication, whether it's through counseling or therapy. I don't know, man. Like, y'all got to work through together. As long as you have an imagination and people, that's different. I mean,
you can't counsel that. You can't.
There's a pop for every lid.
Like, speak up, little buddy. Speak up. Like,
there's a pop for every lid. Okay, somebody will love that man. Somebody will. He will find love. You know what I mean? But like, it's gonna be a little. It's gonna take some accommodation. But I don't know. I just think it's foolish. If someone's genuinely a good person, I just think it's foolish because the dating market is trash. You think the sex was trash? Wait till you go back to the dating market and see your potential partners. The dating market sucks right now. I would hate to be in the dating scene. Anyone who's in it now, I'm sorry. The dating scene is freaking trash. I would not want to be back in that dating scene right now. So yeah.
Got you. All right. So look, let's move on to the next joint. All right. I want to show this clip. I don't know whether or not y'all saw it, but it's been going viral. I think it's fucking hilarious. Right. So let me play this. And let me get y'all perspectives on it.
Is it Shannon? Oh God, don't.
No, it's not Shannon. It's not Shannon. No.
Because Shannon Sharp is in some ish right now, bro.
Yes, he is. He's everywhere. We're just going.
Right.
Good Lord.
They need to leave Uncle alone for real. I fuck with Shannon hard. But let's do this.
You can step in, Justin. You can, Justin. De-escalate. This is crazy. This is crazy, hun. No. Stop it!
Yo, he serving everybody for the blue shirt.
Yeah. All right, so Joe, we go with you first. What's your thoughts on the video, Joe? What's your thoughts?
When has golf ever been that deep? When has this, like, the sport is, for me, boring as hell. When has it ever gotten so deep that you got to throwing hands on at the country club?
Right.
Like, when is it that deep? I don't understand, bro. Like, this is real, right?
This is real. This is all over the news right now.
Damn. Well, I mean, if golf was like this more often, maybe I'd tune in a little bit more. But I'm sorry, I find it extremely boring. But if it was like this more often, like he was throwing hands, you know what I mean? Like, I might tune in a little bit, but I did not expect to see a brawl at a golf course at all, bro. Right. That was nah.
Did they say why it started?
No, you see whoever recorded it started it for, I guess.
It's never context. It's just chaos.
Never context. Yeah.
Drop right into the chaos.
What you think, Chelsea? What you think of that?
That was wild. First of all, he didn't really know how to fight. And then the guy, what was that? Was that security at the end that he tried to swing at? Because he came in from like nowhere and he was just ready to swing at him.
He backed up quick too. He swung that haymaker at him.
Yo. Yeah. My man in the blue shirt was serving everybody. Like, he was giving everybody that work.
I mean, backhand punches, front hand. Like, he had no technique. He was just throwing it.
No. I'm surprised he didn't hit the woman in front of him.
Yeah, he was throwing haymakers. I was like, yo, everybody's just catching. Yo, that's so. I
believe what we won't hear about, though, and that's a list of charges. That fight wanted to go.
Yeah, it might be some charges.
But also, like, listen, there might be a racial component to it, but there's a sex component too. It was all men in this shit. So men typically don't call the cops on other men. So listen, if Joe and I get into a fight, Joe beat my fucking ass. I'm not calling the cops on Joe. I'm not gonna be like, yo, cops, come get Joe because Joe beat me the fuck up. Like, I'm just gonna take my fucking lumps and I'm gonna come and put a stake on my eye.
Yeah, but wasn't it a woman recording? And then there was the woman down by the golf cart.
Yes, but what I'm saying is somebody got to call the cops. It seemed like they were all. I mean, I don't like. Somebody got to call the cops. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
And like, I don't want nobody on my side. If Joe beat me the fuck up, I don't want nobody calling the cops on me like, oh, Joe beat this nigga up. Nobody you're just not gonna see me for like 2 weeks because I'm gonna need my shit to heal up.
Yeah. I really think that society should make it legal. Some states actually have this where you could just stand off with somebody, right? It's still like some weird law that certain states have where you could just have a standoff with somebody over disagreement, and if you kill that person, like you can you're not liable for that. You can just get off, right? But you should just let people just hash it out. As long as people don't have any weapons and ain't gonna come back with guns, let people hash it out, man. Let them fight. Right. Don't, if the cops come, but like, cop, they done had it. Somebody got knocked out. Let them walk free. Like, I just think it should be an acceptable part of society. Let people hash it out, and then whatever happens, happens. As long as you don't come back and kill somebody, I think it is healthy for society to do that.
There was a time when things were like that. I don't know if
I know. Yeah. Remember when people would walk up and take the glove off and smack you in the face with it like a hoe, and then after that, you knew it was on. Like it used to be like that back.
And then shake hands after, and then it's like, "Are we good?"
Yeah, and I think that society would be a better place like that, and for men and women, not just men. Yeah. Shorties can get down too. So. But I'm with it. Listen, I'm gonna start watching some golf, man. I'm missing out. I'm missing out on golf.
Yeah. I'm so curious.
But the guy who came up out of his shirt that got knocked out twice, kudos to him.
Yeah. He just kept taking L's.
Bloody and all, like he was like.
All right.
The second time he wanted to talk about it, but he was going at him again. Like,
yo, boy with the blue shirt on was fucking everybody up. He was like,
yeah, bro. He was
just swinging. He had no like.
All right.
No piss, actually.
So we got to talk about the Tracy Ellis Ross podcast.
Oh my god,
we got to talk about it.
Ladies, have y'all heard it? Have y'all seen the interview with Michelle Obama?
I have no idea.
On her podcast?
No.
So Tracy Ellis Ross was a guest on Michelle. I didn't even know Michelle Obama had a podcast, but
she had a podcast. Let's start there.
She had a Tracy Ellis Ross on, and there was an hour-long conversation about various topics. One of them being relationships.
Right. Wait. Let me play a clip of it now.
So just some context. So this clip is probably the one that ties in this year is what's been going viral for various reasons. So I'm actually curious to see what your perspective on this, because this has been divisive as usual on social media. So, but shout out to Michelle. She got a whole.
But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again. I'm sorry. No, but a lot of men my age are.
So before we even have a conversation about it, right? I want to go to what the Godfather said about Tracy Ellis Ross like 4 years ago, right? So this.
Do we define toxic masculinity?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So
it's a term that gets tossed around so easily, like so often, and it's like people can't even define it. So that's a good question, Angie. I don't
want to be ignorant. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
It don't even sound right. Yeah, it don't even sound right. But we can.
So I mean, my perspective of it is anything that's traditionally masculine. Like it seemed like that's what a lot of these. Not all women, but that's what a lot of these women consider toxic masculinity. Is like the patriarchy, basically the patriarchy. This, you know what I mean? Like men being in charge of relationships.
Can I give it?
After she said it, we're like controlling and like, is that what she's? Go ahead, just play. Maybe
I have a Google definition.
Oh yeah, let's check that out.
I don't know if it'll clarify, but it says a set of attitudes and ways of behaving stereotypically associated with or expected of men, regarded as having a negative impact on men and on society as a whole.
That means nothing.
An example to use it in a sentence: the destructive messages associated with toxic masculinity can lead to men feeling entitled to engage in violence against women. All right, I mean, okay, but
of course that's toxic. Like nobody would dispute that. Nobody would dispute a man whooping a woman's ass.
That was Juju. But anyway, I'm sorry. Where are we right now? Like, there's a lot to unpack with this. Is there another clip? Because
there's another clip. So this is a clip of Kevin Samuels talking about Tracy Ellis Ross like 4 years ago. So this podcast came out about 2 weeks ago. Kevin Samuels was talking about this shit 4 years ago. So I want to play his clip, and then we'll talk about the whole.
Tyrese worships him.
I mean, he a big deal. He
I love the
he a big deal
Godfather.
in these streets.
He talked about specifically about Tracy.
Yeah, he did.
Men are not selecting Tracy Ellis Ross's. Not for marriage.
Oh, he did by name.
You still get it. There are a lot of guys who would slay that. Would have no problem even being seen with her in public. But would a man that she wants do it? Let's say, imagine the man that Tracy Ellis Ross would get. Chances are he would be younger.
Right.
Maybe some up and coming young actor. Can you imagine a woman like Tracy Ellis Ross with a 58-year-old CEO of a Fortune 50 company, an accomplishment? No, they needed a completely different woman. And that's the ultimate point. The longer you're by yourself, the less likely you can be a good fit for anybody else.
Interesting.
All right, we were going to talk about high value versus finesse, but this is important. Here's some things, ladies. I'm going to ask you, ladies, especially you women over 35, what are you going to be willing to give up? Men are.
All right. So the reason I wanted to play that clip specifically is because other parts in the podcast, she talks about the guys that she dates now. Guess who's the guys that she dates now? Younger men. Like
Much
that's what
younger.
he was like, yo, because these are the only dudes that she can fucking get, because she can dictate the terms with a younger man, up and coming actor, young Thundercat somewhere, maybe on a block or some kind of Instagram dude. She can dictate the terms, but she can't dictate the terms with the dudes that she would specifically want. The 58-year-old CEO, she has to move differently. So
is it because he wants a 27-year-old?
I mean, there's a lot of dudes like me. I don't like so take me for example. I would never date vastly younger than me, regardless of how successful I become. Right? That's just not. I'm not sexually attracted to younger women. You feel what I'm saying? So, but there are a lot of men who are. I think I'm kind of like an anomaly when it comes to that. Right? So it's like I'll admit that. But what I'm saying is that Tracy Ellis Ross can't get the dudes. Like she can only get young dudes, which is why you think. Erykah Badu fuck with young dudes. Her last two baby dads was like 26. Like these they can't get certain niggas because these niggas aren't putting up with that dominant ass attitude. You got to deal with niggas that need you more than they need them.
So all right, so we got to open up with some questions, right? To keep the conversation kind of structured or set up the framework. So I have to ask the ladies, like, do you think so? First and foremost, and we can go across the panel. Do you guys think that there's something wrong with older women, say a woman, a much older woman, let's say a woman 45 up, right? Dating men in their 20s or late teens, as long as they're like adults. Is there anything wrong with that?
Yes.
You guys think there's something wrong with that? Okay, no, I'm just asking. Okay. Ty, you think that's problematic? Is that like...
I mean, I didn't think they would say that.
Like 45 plus dating men who are in their 20s, like somewhere in their 20s. Like, do you think, is that problematic?
I don't think so, no.
You don't think so? Okay,
no.
Ladies, do y'all think it is? And be honest. I'm just trying to get a pulse. Okay, yes. All right, so then let me ask.
Walked in the door with a woman my age, hell would come.
I appreciate the honesty.
Right.
All right, so with that said, so then I have to ask this now. Do you think it's problematic for the man who's 45 plus dating a woman in her 20s?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure, because there is a double standard now where people are saying.
I mean, I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah, because that much of an age gap, you're in two different phases of your life. Someone that's 45 is someone 21 is just drinking, going out to parties, finishing college if they're in college, but whatever. That's like
finding themselves,
being like an adult.
Yeah, and I feel like they could easily be robbed of that by a person that much older than them. Like you're literally stealing their prime from them.
Yeah,
but I think so. No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry, Chelsea. Go ahead. Do your thing.
No, that's fine. I was just gonna say I don't think it matters whether it's a guy or
right.
Yeah.
Either way, I think that age gap is not
okay.
I mean, I would say that there is a double standard as far as I see it anyway. Like, so when men do it, when rich, powerful men do it or rich men do it, it's kind of like, all right, it's kind of like accepted. It's like, all right, well, she's, you're successful. She's gaining, your success.
It's not accepted.
I mean, it's not accepted in women, but men
predators.
don't.
We want to control her and mold her, and
that's what women say. Other men, we don't care about that shit. Like,
men
don't. When women say that shit, we laugh and keep it moving. We be like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, we don't
just want somebody you can control.
That's what women say, but men don't care. Like, when we see Hugh Hefner with some 19-year-old Holly, whatever the last name was, we're like, nigga, that's what's up. Like, we like you crushing it at 79. Like, all right, cool. Like, we don't care. They care. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's not a thing against men. Like, so now you might act surprised when you with your girl, like, oh, how dare he? But you really like, I don't fucking care. Like, you really don't care. But but when women do it, it's like, it's looked at as like kind of like pathetic. So Trina's doing it right now. So Trina got some dude that she's either married or about to get married to some like young dude in like his like late 20s. And like she make it seem like she was like making it seem like he had all his money. Then you find out later that he worked at like some furniture store or something like that. But it's like
Trina, like the ratchet rapper, Miami. The ratchet rapper,
the baddest bitch, Trina. So
but she's not the only one.
There she goes.
Think about other examples, guys. So we have Trina, we have Tracy Ellis Ross, we have Erykah Badu, Keisha Cole. We have Madonna, who's a weirdo. We have Nicki Minaj was dating like that younger pedophile dude. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we have all these examples of women who are established, either famous or rich, dating men who are not only just younger, but also just in completely different tax brackets. But like, for them, it's just arm candy. So it's a pattern that we see that when women become richer or more, richer or wealthier or just and older, their dating options, they tend to go lower for dating people who are much younger, right? And it's a pattern that we're observing now. Do you guys see that pattern as well? Or
Keke Palmer, she's like a more modern joint. Like her boy was like, he was working at the bagel shop. I don't know what that nigga was doing, but like he was basically a house husband. Like he was like just in the crib, like.
Yeah.
I guess that the question then becomes for me, is it something that comes with success and wealth? Because men do it and now women are tending to do it too. Like rich men have young, you know what I mean? Like the young arm candy. And if women are doing it too. So is that something that comes with?
So I would argue, like Joe mentioned, he said it's different. I would argue it's different because if you see these women and the kind of men that they date when they're in their prime, in their 20s and their 30s and shit, they're completely different men. They are successful men. They are well-to-do. They are the movers and shakers. These chicks at 40 and 50, they can't get those movers and shakers no more. So they got to get the young Thundercat that's just happy to be there. That's different.
Because they spent their prime having their time wasted by the older men. It's like a cycle.
Well, it's not a cycle for the older men. Because once the older man gets success. No, go ahead.
You have to allow somebody to waste your time, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when we deflect accountability on the fact that if you let somebody waste 2 or 3 or 4 years of your life and they never marry you and they never say he wanted to claim you,
I agree.
Like, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like
accountability. I agree.
He's an F-boy too, but like people can only waste your time if you allow them to. I'm a big believer in that. We have agency, we have control over that situation. But it is different, Angie, in that think about it. Like I don't care who Tracy Ellis Ross dates, right? I really don't. If she wants to date younger, so be it. Do you, girl? And I'm gonna be very honest too. I've had the biggest crush on her since she was on Girlfriends. Like I've been in love with this woman, and she can still get it, right? So I definitely am attracted to Tracy Ellis Ross. But think about it. If she goes out to like the red carpet and she's got like a barista, some 21-year-old barista who works at Starbucks underneath her arm. Do you understand how she would be roasted on the internet by other women? Because that is the person that she showed up to the red carpet with. Men, we don't care. An established wealthy man shows up with a 21-year-old fine-ass barista from Starbucks, and we're like, damn, we don't care. We don't judge men the same way. We say, yo, that's love. Like, we praise him for that. But as a woman, I feel like they would roast the hell out of her, being like, girl, why the hell are you going out there with the freaking with a fitness trainer who's making $45K at a Planet Fitness?
Your son.
You know what I'm saying? Women judge them differently. You know what I'm saying? It's not that's something that we put on them. That's how women would judge them. They would judge her. They would roast the hell out of her. And I think she understands that too. I think she really understands that, like that she would be made fun of, and she's aware of that. It's just optics. It's different when women do it. I don't care. I'm gonna be very honest. I do not care. Men should be able to do it without judgment.
Yeah.
Women can do it without judgment. It's not really my thing, but I think y'all can both do it.
So I'll dispute you. I do care, right? Not because of the age thing. I care because of the success, right? Because there are a lot of women who be like, yo, like, so I remember Nicki Minaj saying that she wouldn't marry Meek Mill. The reason she wouldn't marry Meek Mill is because she was like, yo, I need 3 big ass diamond rings before I even consider a proposal, right? So she gets out of a relationship. Yeah, she said that. She was like, I need 3 big diamond rings. She was on a show. Now maybe she was joking. Whatever. But she was like,
I just don't know. So
yeah,
I was just like,
she had to be. Look who she ended up having.
Exactly. So she was like, I need 3 big ass diamond rings for Meek Mill.
Right.
Her and Meek Mill split up. She would have dude that can't buy her a fucking bagel.
She would have Dusty, who's a pedophile.
A brokey.
Right. So it's like she was literally voted the best female rapper of all time. Right, she was voted that, and I kind of agree. Like, I think Nicki Minaj is a goddamn
you could
monster.
make an argument for it. I think
she's a monster. However, like, it's the dude that she can attract. Like, just how she talk on, like, when I see her on lives and the clips on TikTok and shit. Can you imagine how she talked to her man? Can you fucking imagine that shit? She probably be like, you bitch ass nigga, you better go get the fuck out this bed right now. Open them fucking blinds. Feed the bird, you bitch ass nigga, right now.
He probably likes it. He's still there. He ain't going nowhere.
It could be the exact opposite, though. You never know. Like, that could all be a facade.
Yeah, all right.
It could be.
A nigga making $0 a year. Yeah, all right.
It depends, man. Some women are just weird too. You ever meet them women? Well, I'm asking Ty, of course. Like that want to be dominant in every aspect of her life except the bedroom. Like in every other aspect of her life, she needs to be the boss. But in the bedroom, you better be the man.
Yeah,
that's the only
facts.
arena where you can dominate. Everything else, she got it. I'm like, you weirdo. Like, how does that even work? Like, like what? Like, get out of here. But no. I'm sorry, that was a tangent. But no. So to keep the focus on like just Tracy Ellis Ross. So I think the women, well, Chelsea and Angie said that it is problematic. I think the biggest thing for me is that it's a double standard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Shannon Sharp is going to be dragged now for having relations with a 19-year-old OnlyFans model. It's funny how people are like, "Oh, she's just a child. She's just a child," but she's 19 and she has an OnlyFans. Like, she can't be that much of a child if she's like out there selling her box on the internet. If she's a sex worker, like that doesn't make any sense to me, right? But he's being called a predator, but Tracy won't. Tracy's not being called a predator. She's being praised for that. So I just hate the double standard. I think people should keep the same energy.
Facts. All right, so let's go into the next joint. All right,
Shout out
so
Tracy,
this right here, I saw this, Inge, and I thought of you. I'm like, yo, I'm absolutely curious about what Inge has to say about this next topic.
Oh, Lord.
All right, check this out.
The Supreme Court is considering whether parents can opt their children out of reading LGBTQ+ books in the classroom if it conflicts with their family's faith. Parents in Montgomery County, Maryland, want to pull their children from elementary school classes that use those books. The school district has refused, saying the Constitution does not guarantee students the right to skip lessons inconsistent with their beliefs. The lower courts agreed. The Supreme.
All right. So you, Ange, as the educator, on the panel, what's your thoughts on the possible Supreme Court decision?
So, my belief is that, and I teach elementary school, so I have no issue with LGBT, ABC, whatever you want, it's fine. But its place isn't in school. And that's not just with homosexuality, even heterosexuality. Like, here is not where we about to learn any of that. That's not what this is. So it's going to be a no for me. I don't think, even when it comes up and kids are like, I just had a kid, like, precisely, where did Anthony come from? Go home and ask your dad. Tell me, because I don't even know. So when your dad tells you, make sure you come back and tell me. And then, I'll leave it at that. I don't think that any type of sexuality belongs in school. I think that's an at-home thing, like kind of church and state.
Okay.
But I also hear what they're saying in that if there's a whole segment of learning that has something to do with something that goes against your beliefs, it then becomes unfair for a child to not have to learn or be assessed on that, because now like you're missing a whole part of your grade. So essentially, depending on how much that weighs, it's like, you know what I mean? But then if we allow that, then people can start going off on a tangent with it. Well, I don't want them to learn this because I believe this. I don't want them to learn this. Next thing you know, it's all chop suey. You know what I mean? So it could, if you allow a little bit of an inch, you kind of open the doors up for. So, yeah, no, that's where I'm at. I don't think they should. I don't think they should be in the schools, but I also would have to say that I don't think that they should have the rights to be like, my child can't learn this part, so take them out of class. Because like, then what? So I don't know. It's sticky, but.
So what do you think, Josie?
I don't know. I agree with Ange, but I don't know if it would. So are they just learning all like what each different term for?
Yeah,
all the letters and like what is it
help,
exactly
right?
that they're learning?
What are they? What that would help? Like, what exactly are they being exposed to? Like, is it like graphic? Is it like super sexual in nature? Is it like what are they reading?
Well, you know, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of a book that's
available. Is this
available.
a real example?
This is a real example. I'm gonna give y'all an example of a book that's available in a lot of elementary school libraries. All right, so I'm gonna play this clip. Then I want Chelsea and Joe to.
This is real, right?
This is real. This is real shit.
Right?
It's not satire at all. This is real.
This would help. This would give some context. Like,
all right, here we go.
It's called "All Boys Aren't Blue," and I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees.
Nope.
You can stop that right there. You only gotta play that.
I don't have to hear the rest. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nope. Wait, what grade? What is that? Middle school?
Elementary
what are we
school
even talking about?
Elementary school libraries.
That's insane.
Let's just play the rest of it. Let's play the rest.
Why, bro?
Listen,
they said somebody's on their knees.
I'm talking about Disney movies, and he's talking about putting lube on. No,
they're not working on a car. Like, I don't have to hear the rest of that.
Your cousin want to hear this, bro. I'm telling you.
I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me.
You're making this podcast about to be banned.
All right. That's it right there. All right, but this is an actual. This is an actual Senate hearing from Senator Kennedy.
I don't believe it.
So what book? What library? What district?
He said the book is called "All Boys Aren't Blue."
Right, but why is it in an elementary school? Why is it in any school?
So the purpose of the Senate hearing in that instance, because I watched it, it was basically he was arguing with a principal and a state senator from what was it? It was California. He was arguing was arguing with California officials, and he was arguing like, listen, some books shouldn't be available to kids, regardless of their situation, regardless of whether or not the teachers want it. So he pointed that book out and read from it as an illustration, is to be like, listen, this is unacceptable. But they were arguing the opposite. They were like, listen, the people were arguing, they were like, listen, these books should be available. It's not to say that they're going to read these books, but they should be available if people want to read them.
First of all, who wrote this book?
Like, is it a picture book? What the hell? How do you
Biddy.
mix the picture with the words? That's literally an elementary school lesson. Like the words and the pictures must match. How are you supposed to illustrate that in an elementary book?
All boys are in blue, bro. Some motherfuckers ain't
Like
play.
I wasn't even mad at All Boys Aren't Blue. I thought they were going to take a very colorful approach to talk about.
I thought that was going in a whole different
not
direction.
expecting that.
Oh, well,
That
listen, I
was
guess
soft. That
everybody
wasn't
on
even
here.
soft porn. That was
That was-
hardcore word porn.
Yeah, bro, that was full blown. Like there was
That
no
was
subtlety.
very
It wasn't
graphic. That was
Yeah. That's
uh,
not necessary. I
that's
think that there's a
not-
way that you can talk about differences in people.
Yeah, like that's
without
not.
getting
I'm talking
graphic.
about. I don't even want to see Cinderella kiss the prince. Like I
Right.
don't even want that playing. That's next level. Like that's crazy. That's criminal.
All right.
Criminal.
All right. So, no, my bad. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I'm trying to think because something like that, I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
But I think about, so I worked in education for like almost 10 years, right? Before I started doing what I do now. And I know that I've had students who were, you know, coming out or exploring, and some of them knew that they were just different.
Right.
And so to think that they would have some kind of representation or at least some kind of education that would help them or help them feel validated or like represented, you know, whatever it is, you know, representation matters. I believe in that. I think that there are ways that we can do that that are a little more tactful, that are a little more respectful. Like if someone's a homophobe or if someone's just a bigot because of their faith, nothing's going to change that. It is what it is. But for generally speaking, for people, it's like, I don't know. I think about those students who I had, you know, who I have love for, who I would want them to feel like they matter and that they exist, that they're not invisible. But there is a better way to do that. And I just don't feel comfortable teaching sexuality in elementary school. I just don't. I just don't feel comfortable teaching kids about sexuality in middle school. I mean, sorry, in elementary school. Maybe middle school you can start doing that because by then they've hit puberty, their hormones are raging, they're thinking more about their identities. But like in middle school, in elementary school, bro, second or third grade, why? You know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah,
you got to draw the line somewhere, and that book was too much for me. That's a hard no.
So for me, I never understood like the whole. I know the LGBTQ thing, but when I see clips of like LGBTQ teachers and stuff like that, principals or whatever, going into a classroom of kids and being like, just so you know, I'm a lesbian or I'm a, you know, whatever their sexuality is. I'm always like, why? Like, why did you do that? Like, no one cares. Like, so it's like when I had male or female teachers in school, I didn't know what their sexuality was. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know if they had husbands or wives at home. They just taught the lesson and went the fuck home. I didn't care about what their situation was. So I don't understand why they feel like it's so important to explain what their sexuality is, especially the younger, the weirder it is. But I never heard it all throughout from kindergarten through adulthood. I don't understand this logic that like I gotta understand. They have to understand the teacher's sexuality. I don't understand that.
Well, I was just gonna say. Well, I mean, unless you have something to add to that, I was gonna say like I said, I work in education for a while, and for kids who are part of the, you know, LGTV HD 4K, you know, they're a part of that. Like they know, like they, it's very alienating, especially when you have no one to talk to, especially if you come from a family that's very conservative or where it's frowned upon or where you see no one else that, you know, is out as gay. Like it's very, very alienating. And I think that it's very liberating to see someone else, especially an adult or someone that you respect or someone who has authority to say, hey, I'm this way, you know, and maybe that will help them like want to open up to them about it, or maybe them talk about it. Like maybe they can't talk about it at home. I don't know, bro, but like I just feel like it's something. I feel like it's just, they share it to be supportive of those students, you know. And people being gay has been around here since the beginning of time,
right?
Like
facts,
people being
facts.
gay has not just didn't just start like because the liberals took over or like
Right,
it just
facts.
started in 2020. Like people have been gay since the Greek Empire. People were having orgies and having sex with each other. The word mentor used to mean that you would have a boy that you would basically have sexual relations with. That's the origin of the term mentor. Like, it's really weird that I know that, but like this gay stuff and all this stuff has been around for centuries, thousands of
Right.
years. So I think that, you know, people just want to feel represented. And I think that letting younger people know like, hey, there are other people like you. If you need help or want to talk, let us know, because we know that you might be suffering in silence. I'm okay with that. But teaching sexually explicit content to kids in elementary school or any, I don't know what grade it would have to start in, but like that I'm against. I don't know, bro. I feel like there's more nuance to this conversation. It's not just black and white. So I guess it just depends. Context really matters. So I want these kids to feel supported too, because so high suicide rates is no joke. Bullying is no joke. Right. Homelessness is no joke. These kids tend to be kicked out of their houses. Like I'm speaking like the educator that I used to be. Like these kids, they suffer. So you know what I mean? Like I see a little bit of both sides.
I hear you, but I also hear the why for promoting it up front, right? So if I have a student, now I teach elementary school, so it's not something that I have been dealing with for the last 10 years directly, but even small things, like if I have a kid who's seemingly sad, right? Just for an example, and I go and I talk to this baby about how he or she is feeling, and she says something or he says something to me like, "Oh, I'm hungry because I don't have food." I can bring myself to their shoes. Like when I was young, my mom or dad wasn't working and, or we didn't have food in the house. It's okay to feel. So now I'm bringing myself, I'm doing what you just said. We want to make them feel like they're not alone, that they're heard, that their situation they're not the only ones going through it. But that's different from me being like, "Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Miss Presley and I grew up poor." Like it doesn't have to come up until necessary to be, you know what I mean? Yeah. Is what I'm saying making sense, Joe? I feel like you're looking at me like, what are you saying?
No, I ain't got my eyes on, so I'm just squinting. Oh. I'm just squinting to see more detail in your video.
Right. So. So I feel like there's a space in between, because the same way you can make someone feel welcomed and included, you may have also chased half of people away and made them feel not, what I mean? You could have had the exact opposite by being like, "Hey, my name is Miss Presley. I go by they, them, and I'm a lesbian." Like, whoa, you may have gained the trust of a minority group, but majority of the class may be like, "My teacher's you know what I mean?" Yeah. So it could go either way.
But that sounds too much like the 1960s. Like, we got a nigger in our classroom now. What the hell is going on? Like, it's giving like we're uncomfortable because it's different, so we're gonna bully them. You know what I mean? Like, I hear you, but like, where there was a time where like us being in a classroom was weird, and people were feeling alienated because we were in their classrooms. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not comparing sexuality to like racism or race, but like, we've all been there. There was a point in time where even our ancestors, or not too long ago, were like, we were the weird ones, like, right. So I don't know. I'm not with that. I'm not buying that. Like, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. Like, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. My existence shouldn't make you uncomfortable. If it does, so Joe, that's a you problem.
So you don't have any issue with I don't know what they like.
No, I don't want the books. I don't want sexually explicit books. I don't want drag
ball.
So
say like a trans, like a not a trans person, like how the principal, she went viral, but she came in
drag.
Are you cool with that? Oh, okay.
No. All right. You see what I'm saying? I have boundaries. Right. I'm like, no, we ain't doing a drag ball at my child's school. We ain't gonna do RuPaul's runway at my child's school. Like, we're not doing that. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely have like boundaries. I just feel like there could be. I feel like the I don't want to say the left, because I'm left and Democrats aren't left, but I feel like people on the left have tried to push the super woke people they've gone too far. They've gone too far, and they've gotten to a point where like it's just ridiculous. But like, there are people with common sense who are like, there has to be a better way to make people in this community feel validated and feel represented without disrespecting others or exposing them to sexual content. Like, there has to be a way. You can't just say no, get it away with. Like, I don't know. They got to do a better job. They're not doing a good job right now. They're doing a horrible job.
That book certainly isn't it.
Yes, I agree. Look, that book will not. No, I will ban that book. Ban that book from my child's library, please.
So what you think? What you think, Chelsea?
I agree with Joe. I was gonna say, to play devil's advocate, there's probably kids that aren't allowed to open up at home, or with their friends, and they don't. They just need someone. Even if they don't know, but they want to talk to someone to see if what they're feeling is like leaning that way or not, or I mean,
you don't know.
I
You
don't
all,
know.
and my last point is that no, I'm sorry. I was gonna say it's very common, and I hate that it's very so common in our communities, like sexual abuse. So you also have a lot of people who get sexually abused either by a neighbor or a family member, which is way more common than I like to admit. And then they grow up being confused, and you know what I mean, live different lifestyles because of that too. And so they have no one to talk to. You know, they might need a therapist, but some of them don't have that. Some of them can't afford therapy. So like, who do they talk to about all these thoughts now? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it just depends. Context matters so much. So I don't know, man. All I'm saying is it's a nuanced conversation. It's not just black and white. That's all.
All right.
That book is in it though.
Yeah, that book is the worst.
That book
Burn
is
that
not
jar.
even.
Like, boy is blue.
We can agree that that book is absolutely absurd and out of line.
That's crazy.
And even crazier that it was elementary school. That is.
Yeah.
You don't even have like sex ed at that point. Like what is happening?
That's sick. That is sick.
My ass. All right. All right. All right. All right. So listen.
Condom. Like, why are we even saying that? Like, what?
No.
All right. So listen. So I want to end the joint. So we coming up. We getting close to an hour now, right? So let's end it. But I want to finish with something that brings me a lot of joy when I come across these TikToks. So when I come across this dude's TikToks, right? I'll be sitting there crying. Joe knows who it is. Now I'm about to put y'all two on. So I'm gonna play it, and I want thoughts on what I'm about to play. All right.
Joe, like, what is he about to?
I don't know, ladies. All right, listen.
Apparently, you know, Joe.
Right.
So he's standing.
No.
Rubbing lotion all over his body and stuff, you know. He had a little nice butt too. I'm talking about he was nice. He said, "You man, put some of this on my back. I'm already hard, you know. I already know what's getting ready to happen. This is gonna be some sex up in here." And started rubbing it on his back and just pressed up. I put the head right there first, see what he's gonna do. He didn't move. Move a little more up and I said, I know he feels this. Put that lotion on my hand, rubbed it over his shoulders, and I pressed in a little more and put it all the way. It was in it. It was in it. Boy, we had sex all night. We got done, it was like lunchtime, 12 in the afternoon when we stopped.
All right. So for a little context, it is so this dude right here, his name is Felice Johnson. They call him
about some vomit.
they call him the Booty Warrior. So he's describing
that man is terrifying.
He's describing his experiences while he was in jail for 40. He was in jail for 40 years. He's describing his experiences in jail for 40 years. This is just one of them, apparently. So
have y'all heard of this guy before?
No.
So he went into jail when he was
him because y'all played him before.
Oh, well, you might have seen him here, right? But he went into jail. I forgot what the reason was when he was like, what, 16, maybe 15?
Yeah.
At a very, very young age. And he basically came out at his mid 40s. And so in jail, he basically became a predator. So he was known as the Booty Warrior because he would go around sexually assaulting men, taking whatever he wanted. Like, he was like infamous in jail, but he was basically essentially a sexual predator in jail. And now he's been released into society, and now he's out on social media telling all of his disgusting stories, in vivid detail. And it's just weird. It terrifies me. It's terrifying.
so he ended up getting famous. I think we were like maybe what 10 years ago, Joe, something like that. But he came out. The reason they call him the Booty Warrior is because he was like he was on like date. You remember when Dateline we used to do those joints about people in jail? Like they would like have shows about like people in, like how it was to be in jail, and they would like have a camera crew in there. It was called like Lockdown or something like that. You remember what I'm talking about? So he was one of the dudes on there, and he was the one that got famous because he was looking real serious, and he was like, you know, he was like booty in jail is more important than water. It's more important than food. So he was like, if people want to call me homosexual, whatever, he's like, I'm gonna let you know, like, I'm a warrior. Like I'm so that's why they ended up calling him like the booty word, because they like he said his quote was Joe, you gonna remember this. He was like, if I see somebody in jail and it, like, you know, like they like a new fresh fish or something like that, he was like, I come up to him, I say, I like you and I want you. So I mean, so he said, he was like, well, we can do this one or two ways, the easy way or the hard way. It's up to you. He said it was always the easy way. So basically they were just
He should go around to like inner city schools and like talk to the youth. I bet you they keep their asses out of jail. Y'all think scared straight work. Y'all need to send the booty warrior. Oh, baby.
I actually, sadly enough, I agree with you. I send them to high schools though, right? Don't send them to middle school. Send them to the high school.
High school.
Freshman orientation. Like get it
Send
as soon as you get in
juvie.
there. No, this man, every time I see his videos, I have to watch, unfortunately, because I'm just like, what is he talking about now?
It's not incriminating, though.
He done. I
mean, he did his time.
He already was in jail.
No, but I mean, while he was in there, he's literally like assaulting men.
But you need a victim. You need a victim to be like, yo, he butt pounded me. Them
That
niggas ain't
part,
gonna,
'cause
they're not
Wolfman
going,
is gonna be like, yeah, he took my butt.
like I'm shutting up forever. Like that's that. Like I'm not telling nobody. You got me fucked up. Like
I ain't gonna tell nobody.
Y'all see him on the street, y'all cross paths, you with your wife, and he looking at your husband like, hey.
Well, I'm gonna just be like in the shower, like rocking back and forth, like
yeah.
I'm not telling nobody. You got me fucked up. Like, yeah, absolutely not, bro. Like,
but you know, you know what's crazy? He was just in a 12. You know those dating zones where they do like 20 versus 1. Yeah. It's like one person. Usually it's a celebrity, and then it's like 20 different women or men. He was just on that show, and I'm just like, why did we make people like this famous?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get that, you know, he went viral for like a disgusting reason and because he's just like intriguing as well. But like now we've made him famous where he's like, he went to Kai Cenat's podcast stream. Yeah. Now he's doing 20 versus 1 dating shows. And I'm like, bro, like why do we make the wrong people famous? Yeah. Why? And I mean, we always do that. That's one of the things I hate about social media. Like he should not be this famous. Like
I don't want to combat your point with something funny, but on the show, right? I watched part of it, right? So he was on the 20v1 joint. He was talking to men and women because he likes dudes too, right? He likes boy butt or bussy.
Sure, he does.
Right? That's what they call it, right? So that's what they call it. But anyway, so listen. So he's talking to this dude. So he's talking to this dude, and he's standing up with the balloon, and the dude farts. Right? He farts on the. He's like, "I'm sorry, you're making me nervous." So then so Felice Johnson looks at him. He's like, "Oh, you know what we say in jail when we see like, you know, people farting." He's like, you know, that's like basically like a mating call. He was like, it means like, you know what I mean, like whatever. So he was like, so he said, so this is the line that Felice Johnson said. He said, "Oh, so the dude farted." He looked at him. He looked at up and down. He said, "Oh, I like that. Oh, talk to me, old toothless one." I said, "What is this?" Like, that's like a thing in jail. So if you go in there and fart, and somebody be like, "Oh, talk to me, old toothless one," that dude's trying to run up in your butt later because he said you ripe, you ready to rock. Like that's what they say, bro.
All right, listen, gentlemen, family.
I'm not going to jail.
Don't go to jail. Do not, please, for the love of God, stay out of jail. Please. Oh my God. It's not worth it. Stay out of jail. Please. Please. Like
all right. Well, listen. This is just a little bit over an hour. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Chelsea, and thanks so much. I had fun. I had a good time. I was drinking the whole time. I'm chilling. I'm having fun. I guess until next time, right, Joe?
Thank you for coming back, ladies. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, until next time, y'all be safe.